understand that English is right now a global language. It's spoken around the world. And in schools in India, we really make an effort to help students learn English. How did you see this being done in China? And how good are Chinese students maybe at around 17 years old or 18 years old when they leave school? How good are they in English?
Well, number one, when you're navigating yourself around the city with taxi cab drivers and stores and some of the older people, there's no understanding. Nobody seems to understand English. But the government has made a huge push in English in trying to improve their schools and recognizing, like India, that English is a global language. It's certainly a tie to the economy, and the Chinese have gotten it. They really have gotten it well. They understand this. And so, like so many things in China, they perfect it. So they start the kids early on. I viewed all levels. I went from kindergarten into their primary, into their middle school, and into their middle schools. By the way, Chinese have two middle schools. They call their high schools middle schools and their middle schools. So it's a bit confusing. But to answer your question, starting at age 3 in kindergarten, they're avidly learning the ABCs. And by the time the kids are in high school, they're talking and conversing very well.
Okay, so you have maybe 16, 17-year-old kids who can converse really fluently in English.
No problem.
Oh, okay.
No problem at all. Understanding. I was thinking, isn't this amazing? These kids are doing interviews with me at the junior high level, to some degree at the primary, and no problem at the high school level. Yet our kids in the United States, we're not really learning Chinese at all. And by the way, Chinese, Mandarin, is the largest spoken language in the world, not English.
I know. But anyway, as of now, English seems to be spreading rapidly, and I don't think a country can progress without knowing English.
I would agree. And the Chinese recognize this, and they rose to the occasion. And their methodologies they're using, the differentiation that I see, the strategies and the pedagogy that their teachers are using are incredible. I mean, every bit as good as what I see on par with the United States teachers, and probably even better.
Now coming back to America, what do you think is the main problem in American schools?
I don't believe the problem, that's a good question. And a lot of people think it's the teachers. And I don't think it is the teachers. I think there's always an improvement. But I think overall we have well-trained teachers, highly educated. They use great methodologies to teach the kids. I'm going to tell you what I think the problem is. I'm going to tell you what I think the 3 biggest problems in American education. Family values, and family values. So the first 3 problems are family. And then we can talk about the other problems after that.
So if the family is right, then everything's going to be fine.
If the family were right in the United States, I don't think we'd have the education crisis and many of the problems that we have in the U.S. But the family is not right. And this project that I've taken on, this is all on my own money and my own time. I've invested a lot of studying into this, reading 14 different books on economies and world comparative education. And so, one of the things that made me do this project and motivated me was something's missing here. Something is really seriously wrong in America. And every day it eats at me as a teacher. Every day. And finally, I just got tired of talking about it with my colleagues and said, you know what? I'm going to go out there and investigate and see what's going on the other side of the globe. And I'm blown away with not only in the Indian culture, but in the Chinese culture, what I see is family being a core value. So I think both these countries are headed, on the global curve, they're headed up. As America is heading down. America's trying to figure out their problems. And politicians, they like to beat up on teachers because it's a lot more politically accepted if you beat up on teachers and not parents.
Yeah, that's true. So now coming to parents, how important do you think is the role played by parents in a child's education?
It's everything.
It's everything.
It's everything. If the teacher is very important, and we know how important an effective teacher and how they can really cultivate and increase the performance of that student in their life. There's been a lot of studies on that. But without good parental support, it makes a lot of that in vain.
So, in your words, it's not enough for parents to get their child admitted into a good school.
Of course
It's not enough. So they have to do more.
Of course not. I mean, yeah, exactly. It's really all about the parents. Like I said, the first three problems in American education are family, family, and family. And that's not saying all families are broken, but let me tell you, we have huge problems. And these relate to respect and values and authority I run around your campuses. I don't see it littered with garbage and I'm on Chinese campus and I see that. You go on an American campus, typical American, garbage, all over the place.
Mm-hmm.
They have to hire people to their only job is to pick up garbage, okay? It's a whole different value system.
So America is clean because there are people to pick garbage.
Of course.
It's not because people don't litter.
The kids throw their garbage everywhere. I mean, this is just this is a small problem.